Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the English news of Bình Phước radio, television station and newspaper. I'm Thiên Kim and now are the headlines as usual. Bình Phước moves to conserve forests. Local people hand over land for road construction. Prime Minister delivers message at the G7 meeting. Information on Ninh Bình tourist sites available on QR codes. Ladies and gentlemen, amid changing weather patterns and unusual balances in nature, Bình Phước has for many years worked to increase its forest area with a view to protecting the environment.
Boasting a large swath of forest area in the southeastern region, with more than 155,000 hectares, Bình Phước has long viewed forest protection as a key mission. Relevant authorities have worked to raise public awareness about forest protection. Communities assigned forest protection has been successful in helping improve the management and conservation of forest areas, as it promotes the role and responsibility of local people. The province has also paid due regard to strengthening measures to prevent forest fires and reduce the impact. Local natural forests have been strictly controlled, with authorities not recording any deforestation cases to date. Bình Phước forest coverage now stands at 22.75%.
Under the Party Committee's Plan number 18 on promoting the role of party organizations at all levels, authorities and party members in poverty reduction during the 2021 to 2025 period, party members in Bình Long town have joined hands with relevant parties to help 24 households escape from poverty to date.
The plan, issued in 2021, received an enthusiastic response from all party organizations, party members, and local residents. This year, the Standing Board of the Bình Long Party Committee is providing support to one policy beneficiary household, while 5 party organizations are responsible for helping 6 families escape from poverty. Bình Phước Town is also working to ensure sustainable poverty alleviation for elderly people living alone and unable to work.
Local people in mountainous communes in Bù Gia Mập district have voluntarily handed over land for road construction.
Under the National Target Program for Socio-Economic Development in Ethnic Minority and Mountainous Areas, upgrades were made to many roads in Đắc commune with a total length of 21 kilometers. Seeing the importance of road construction for new site rural area building, local residents voluntarily handed over more than 80,000 square meters of land for the project. Relevant parties are now mobilizing resources to begin construction of the roads.
Ladies and gentlemen, in his remarks at the first plenary session of the expanded summit of the Group of 7, G7, on May 20th, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính proposed improving the global economic governance efficiency, strengthening policy coordination, and reforming a World Trade Organization-centered multilateral trading system.
He suggested that G7 continue to support developing countries through the provision of green finance and cooperation in developing strategic infrastructure systems, especially for transport. Truyền proposed G7 and its partners step up the opening of agricultural markets, promote green agricultural cooperation, increase their participation in and support for the implementation of the South-South and trilateral cooperation mechanisms in ensuring the global food security. Vietnam is ready to scale up food production, contributing to the conduction of the action statement, the leader said. Truyền called on the G7 countries and development partners to have a specific action plan to strengthen resources support for the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals and develop effective mechanisms in response to future medical emergencies. Also on the 20th of May, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính met with Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, IMF, Kristalina Georgieva, during which he suggested the IMF continue with policy counseling for the Vietnamese government regarding economic management and improvement of tools and policies related to fiscal, monetary and financial restructuring. Georgieva, for her part, spoke highly of Vietnam's socio-economic management policy and affirmed that she and the IMF strongly support and will partner with Vietnam during its development process. Meeting Secretary-General of the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, Matthias Cormann, Prime Minister Chin sought OECD's support for Vietnam in adapting to new areas that require a new mindset and new approaches in the future, especially in issues such as the global minimum corporate income tax, energy and food security, and climate change. The OECD Secretary-General commits to continue cooperating with Vietnam, supporting its recovery and economic development, particularly in areas of Vietnam's interest, such as building investment policies aligned with the global minimum corporate income tax, green economy, and circular economy.
Amid the fluctuation of the global finance market, the exchange rate in Vietnam has remained stable in the first 4 months of this year, and the Vietnam dong has been considered one of the most stable currencies in Asia, according to experts.
Market analysis reports released by Marie Asset Securities Vietnam showed that in April, the US dollars, Vietnam dong exchange rate dropped 0.2% and the average exchange rate hovered around 23,500 Vietnam dong, US dollars during the month. The rate has remained stable throughout the January-April period. The United Overseas Bank rated the Vietnam dong as one of the most stable currencies in Asia, despite significant changes in the Fed's interest rate hike expectations as well as concerns about a global recession and instability of the US banking system. In the first 4 months of this year, the State Bank of Vietnam bought nearly $4.9 billion from credit institutions, up about $1 billion from the amount recorded at the end of the first quarter of 2023. Experts from VN Direct forecast that Vietnam's foreign exchange reserves will recover to reach $102 billion by the end of this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, digital technology has been introduced at various historical and cultural tourist sites in Ninh Bình province with a view to improving the experience of both tourists and local people.
QR codes are now being used at the ancient temple dedicated to Princess Phật Kim in Chương in Kho Miêu, Hoa Lư district to better engage with visitors. Through a simple scan with their smartphone, tourists are able to access information on the historical site, which was built during the Lê dynasty to honor the princess. Under the program to digitalize local historical and cultural tourism sites, youth unions at all levels in Hoa Lư district carefully studied the information that tourists usually seek. They then chose tourist sites and worked with relevant agencies to develop attractive content such as infographics and videos, which were then digitalized through QR codes. QR codes have already been used at other provincial and national historical and cultural tourist sites, helping visitors access information, images, and videos on the sites in both Vietnamese and English. The digitalization of historical and cultural sites is considered a breakthrough in the preservation and promotion of local heritage. 9 relic sites in Ninh Bình have been digitalized so far, housing nearly 390 provincial and national relic sites, including 5 national treasures. Ninh Bình is capitalizing on digital technology to preserve its historical and cultural values while boosting tourism development.
And that is all for this edition of BPTV News. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.